Rise up, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, kings and queens, friends, frenemies, and agents. This is Brother Mali. This is the Gambi One channel. I'm chilling out here after watching a video from Mr. Beast. Now, he did a video, it's like a couple weeks old now, but he came to Africa, to Kenya, to Zimbabwe and Cameroon, and installed 100 wells. Well, they're actually boreholes. But the video that he's done is he's inserted 100 wells in Africa. So, given that I'm in Africa, right, it piqued my interest. So I checked it out. And he starts off with Kenya. He puts a number of boreholes in there. The one that he highlighted was at a school where the drinking water for the children was from a local river, not stream, river. I mean, you know, there were you could imagine what river water is like. I mean, it's not even nearly clean. It's not even nearly clean. And these children are drinking this bad water. The teacher that he's interviewing at the time explains that the children are suffering from diarrhea and typhoid because of the water they're taking in. So he puts out a borehole there, and lo and behold, they have fresh water from the water table below. They're all cheering and saying how great he is and so on and so forth. That's all well and good. Now, he's been getting pushback from people who said, well, you know, he's on some white savior kick or something, or he's just using the poverty of the Africans to build up himself with more money and donations and more fame and so on. My point of view on it is his reason for doing it is highly irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, Kenya is a well-established country. Well-established. And yet, these people can't even handle water for the children in the country. I mean, it's like the most basic of basic. You know, a lot of people, they don't understand why Africans are moving over to Europe. A lot of people don't get it. A lot of people don't understand, and they'll say, well, you know, being an economic migrant isn't a good enough reason. Maybe, you know, maybe those people who complain haven't understood just how detrimental the governments on this continent are to their own people. Maybe they don't realize just how little that these people give a... No, let me get my language right. How little they care about their own people. I mean, they don't care so much that they won't even put water for people to drink. They can't put 2 pipes down. Now, this guy, Jimmy, Mr. Beast, you know, he's like taken a borehole drill. Now, imagine, let me walk. Let's walk and talk. Let's walk and talk. Because otherwise I'm just a madman just shouting into his phone. Let's walk and talk. So imagine you have a borehole machine there on the back of a truck. The borehole machine and truck has a number plate on the back. So that tells me that this is a registered vehicle. This is a local registered vehicle. So the Kenyans have the know-how. They have the ability to do this for themselves. They don't need no white man from America coming over and helping them. And there's no need for people to complain about people coming over and doing that for them. Because you know why? They could do it themselves. They've got the know-how. The fact that you've got a borehole machine means that you know there is a water table below which has fresh drinking water below. So you know the drinking water is there, you have the means to get it, and you can't even put up a a well. You can't even put up a borehole for your own local inhabitants. That's willful neglect. That is willful neglect of your own people. You see, when people talk about economic migrants, they're talking about people who have not even got as far as, let me get a sip of water to drink from the tap. They haven't even got as far as, let me get a sip of water to drink from the local well. You know, if you have to go and walk outside your house to go to the well in the road, that's enough drama in itself, because you've got to carry buckets and buckets of water to your house so you can take a shower or take a bath. You've got to carry, like, you know, bowls of water to your house so that you can feed yourself, so you can hydrate yourself. But if you can't even be bothered to give people that, that is a sad indictment of you as a government, Kenya. Disgusting. I'm tired. Look. I came over to this continent in 2013. And I was so disgusted with the way in which things were being done in London, in the UK. I didn't like how I had to curtail who I was in order to fit in with the system that I was living in. I didn't like the fact that I was being viewed with suspicion by people in authority before we even said anything. I didn't like how, when I'm trying to do business or trying to have a job, I know that my name will go against me. I know that the color of my skin carries with it a level of concern for many people who are in positions of power. And I didn't like that. And so I came over here for freedom. And Africa has provided that, which I'm very, very grateful for. However, if you can't even sort your stuff out to a point where people could have something to drink, people could have water in their house, man, you failed. You failed. Now, you know, people will say, like, you know, people were saying that this Mr. Beast guy was taking advantage of people's poverty. He wasn't. He wasn't. You know why? Because there was loads of stuff that he could have spoken about which he never mentioned. Like, for example, you'll see parts where they're speaking and where he's interviewing the children, or he's talking to the children, and there are, like, you know, corrugated sheets behind them. I know what that is, because I went to a Dara, that's an Islamic school over in Gambia, and where they allow the children to go to the toilet is just a hole in the ground surrounded by these corrugated sheets of aluminium, sharp-edged, rusty sheets, and these poor children have to go there and do their business. It's inhumane. Excuse me. It is inhumane how they're treating these young children. And that is just normal. The schools there that he showed there, you know, they didn't have windows, they didn't have glass in the windows. The roof was corrugated, so they didn't even have insulation or anything like that. I'll be surprised if they had electricity, to be honest with you. Oh, actually they did, because they had computers. They had computers there. When I first came over to Gambia, I brought computers over with me, thanks to two employers I had back in London. One was Hunter and Partners, in Hammersmith, an architect's firm, who in their decision to remove, they could have just got rid of the old computers, but instead they asked me to ensure they got wiped and cleaned off so that I could use them here in Africa, which I did. The other one, I can't remember the name of there was another solicitor's firm I was working for over in Holborn, and they too gave me computers to take over. So I was able to bring over a bunch of machines to a school, but the school had no electricity. The school had no electricity. The school had no kind of they have water? Yeah, they had water there. But the roads were awful. I mean, I'm using roads in inverted commas because they're not roads that you recognise as roads with tarmac and a curb and lines on the road and that stuff. No, it's just a sand track. It's the same level as the rest of the road. So, in the rainy season, where rain does rain, in the rainy season, the road gets totally washed away. And, you know, driving your car is ridiculous. Like, where I was last week when I was driving the car, anybody who was walking had to like run out the way because of the bow the car would make in the water, and it would sweep up and hit people's walls and their doors and so on and so forth, because no one cares. No one cares about the minimum that you need for your civilization. No one cares. I've got to thank that young man for going over to Africa and doing what he did. Not for me, but just to say that, you know, I've been here for a long time. I've met many people from Europe and from America and from, you know, black and white, who have, like that young man, who've come over and said, I want to do something positive to help people. And this flipping country, they stay here just not doing anything to help themselves. Not doing anything to help themselves. They're just like, yo, why should I take the millions and millions of dollars I get from tax revenue, from bribing drivers, from aid from the West. Why should I take any of that money and spend it on the people in the country? Why should I invest in it? When I've got people who come over from America, from Canada, from Europe, wherever in the world, and do it for me. This kind of useless sitting back with your hand out mindset is what you see from the ones who are running the country, and that also trickles down to the people who actually live in the country. So we got to do better. Kenya, Cameroon, where's the other place? Zimbabwe. In fact, no. The continent. We got to do better. No one. Yo, if there's a power cut in England, if London had a power cut, that would make the news. That would be like a newsworthy story. People would be interviewing, yo, how did you feel during the power cut? People would be talking about, oh my god, it was dark and oh my god, you know, I was at work in hospital, and what about to do with like no electricity and I'm in the middle of a surgery? It would make the news. In Africa, it's every day. Every day. it's a weird situation because I love it here. I really do. And you know, for the most part, I like the people here. For the most part, people aren't perfect. Everyone's got a smile on their face, sure. That's normal. But for the most part, I like it here. I mean, that's my backyard. It's lovely. So I can't complain. But at the same time, I'm sick and tired of the people who are in control being completely out of control and having zero idea on how to run a country. So, in conclusion, I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Beast, for doing what you did. To those people who should have done it, shame on you, because you should have done it a long time ago. There's no way there should be a whole school built and you haven't even considered the children that need the bare minimum. The village is there as well, and the whole village has no water, and nobody has said, let me go and get a drill and make some water in there. No one's decided to do that. No one with means anyway. Maybe the locals thought about it, but because clearly they could. If they could walk that far to go get water, they could have they could dig that hole themselves if they had the means. But with people who've got means, like the government over there and the rest of the continent as well, I'm not going to just, you know, sit here and just pile on Kenya. If you think that that's acceptable, you're wrong. You are wrong. Practically, you're wrong morally. You're wrong spiritually. You will fail because you put yourself purposely in a failure position where you're sitting back and relying on the other people to help you. None of those people come help you. You're completely clueless and powerless to do anything about it. Give if they could take it away. Think about it, yeah? And those of you who are not in power, if you're just an ordinary human being from wherever you are in the world, look in your life and you can see where you're being powerless. Don't get used to it. Don't get comfortable with it. If you're living under someone else's charity, don't sit back and just go, okay, cool, well, I'm good. No. Look to empower yourselves. It's a much better way of living. It's much better for your peace of mind, and it's much better for your future. This is your brother Marley. It's the Gambi One channel, and I'm out.